What's up, everybody? This is Whiskey in the Six. I'm Rob. Tonight, I have a special guest, Swami from Malted in Montreal. Swami, why don't you say hello, buddy?
Hello, buddy.
Tonight, we're going to be talking about Glendronach Allardice, but we will also be talking about the potential age of the newer Glendronach 18s. So you're familiar with the age scale, Swami?
I've learned a bit from watching you, actually, and all the other reviewers talk about it. Unfortunately, my Glendronach, after doing the age scale, I was not as lucky as the rest of you because I got a 2010 bottling. So mine is actually 18 years of age. I didn't get the lucky prize of lucky charms of having the Glendronach 23 and an 18-year-old bottle or anything like that. But it's still delicious. I'm very happy with it.
Yeah, no, I mean, every sip of Glendronach 18-year-old I've had so far has been incredible. The bottle I have up here is a 2015. That's the one that I reviewed just under 2 years ago on my channel. That was my whiskey of the year in 2016. I want to know if there's a difference because a lot of people think that this 2017 is actually 22 years old and not 18 years old because of the fact that Glendronach went under in 1996, stayed closed until 2001. So there was that 6-year period, and they believe that it's going to continue to go up. We got a whole bunch of people joining us in the chat already. I'm not sure if you're...
I'll get my phone out so I can follow along and read and help you out while you're talking and stuff. No worries.
Yeah. So we got Scott from the Scotch Test Dummies. We got Chris Santa Cruzin. We got Mark. We got Mike. That's crazy. We got Loch Ness. Jeremy from Toronto Whiskey Society.
Ooh.
Go Habs. We got Keith from the Malted Man Cave. And yeah, so far and Frank. What's up, buddy?
The whole crew's here.
That's it. We got 17 so far, or 16. We do have a special guest tonight, actually. He will be joining us. He's on the line, but he's going to sit tight. He will be joining us later. It's a surprise for those of you that are tuned in. What's Keith saying? Digging the haircut. Thought you couldn't get any sexier. Come on, Keith. Why do we got to go there so early in the broadcast?
Keith, you're excited. You should see my nipples. Oh, God.
Oh, man. So Scott's going to be our, I guess it's called a mediator.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure. What's the role of a mediator, Swami? Do you know?
He's kind of like the bouncer. He wears the baby T-shirts all the time, so he can kind of flex with the muscle that he has there. You can see Scott is our captain of baby T-shirts. So his job is to, grab people, Carlton, no, Uncle Phil, that's it. Toss him out, DJ Jazzy Jeff.
Nice, yeah.
For those of you who don't know me, by the way, because I didn't really talk, but my name is Swami Swab. I have my channel called Malted in Montreal. Those of you who know me, love me. Those of you who don't know me should love me and get to know me. So come over and subscribe because we love all of you here in Malted in Montreal. It's the Eastern Seaboard tonight. We got me and Rob here, Toronto and Montreal. So that'll be fun. And no one say what the score is in the hockey game because I taped it again. Watch it later. I know we lost, but
right on. Claire the Third just joined us. What's up, Claire? Travis, what's going on, brother? Man, honestly, the nose on this Glendronach, I just opened this bottle, so I'm not going to actually give it a mark tonight. I do plan on re-reviewing it, but I'm not going to give it a mark tonight just because I'd like to give it a chance to open up a little bit. But, man, this is good.
I call it, it's like the bitter devil, I call it, because everything's like dark prunes, cocoa, espresso, wood, all melange together. Sorry, but my franglais, we call it like in English and French, mélange, mix. It just comes together in this just beautiful dark envelopment thing. Because you have the 21-year-old, the Parliament, which is the extreme of sweetness, and then you have this one, which is like the extreme of dryness, but flavorful, powerful dryness. Like if you like dry wine, this is your scotch, man.
Absolutely. I totally agree with that. Honestly, for me, this beats the 21 by a long shot. Want to give a quick shout out to Eric. He just joined us tonight as well. I honestly think the PX might be a little too sweet with the 21, if that's even possible. And it's not even the sweetness that steers me away from the 21. It's just I find this is sweeter overall. This has been sitting for about, I don't know, I would say about 20 minutes.
I wouldn't say it's sweet. I would say it's fruity and flavorful and bold. That's just my opinion.
That's the 21 you're saying?
Oh, the 18. The 21 is sweet. The 21 to me it's an amazing scotch, but it's something that you can't drink on a daily basis. And not because of price, because the price is great. It's just it feels like something that you're going to drink when you're having dessert or something like that, like an aperitif after dinner.
It's like what you have sherry wine with your dessert kind of thing.
Exactly. Where this is like sit on the couch with a stogie. If you smoke, I have the douche flute, of course. A lot of people call it the robo member. I won't use the word, but
really?
That's it. So I love the 18. Really miles ahead for me. I haven't had it in such a long time. I can't really compare. You've probably got more experience on it, but I find it better than the Macallan's 18, and it's like half the price. So.
Yeah, I mean, man, I do like it better for sure. I don't know about miles ahead. I wish the Macallan 18 was bottled at 46% because then you can do a fair comparison. I just want to quickly say to Mike, that's crazy that this is bottled in 2017 and it was April 18th on the back. So potentially this is 22 years old. I'm going to go back and forth, but why don't you kind of talk about your channel real quick and then at least.
Well, I'll talk about something. Instead of talking about my channel, I'm going to talk about something else. I'm going to talk about the community that we're developing over here and how awesome it's become. Like, seriously, I'm not just talking about the reviewers, which are, Rob here, Scott from Scotch Test Dummies, Keith, Malted Man Cave, Jason Whiskey Wise, plethora. I got to talk about Bill. Come on, love Bill. Bill Whiskey Dick, amazing guy. But it's also you guys watching right now, commenting down below. Like Santa Cruz and just dropping 20 bills down on Rob.
Crazy.
Wonderful, man. You guys support us and keep us going. We would literally stop this. You know how many reviews Rob has done and I have done and Scott has done, people have done. If it wasn't for you guys, like, I don't know if I would keep going, man, because it's coming in. They say, like, on the news, like when you get that thumbs up or that like, that gives you like an endorphin rush. When I come in the morning and I see all the comments flooding in on all my like reviews and stuff, it makes me smile. It makes me happy. I skip to work. It's great, man.
Absolutely.
I wish I could do this for a living.
Just want to say thank you really quickly to Chris, Santa Cruz, and man, you're awesome, buddy. Very, very generous. There's a bunch of people that just jumped in. Whiskey Throttle is saying that the bottle that I have is the exact same one that he has. That's probably because we bought it in the same place, or the same province at least. Christopher, what's going on, buddy? He's drinking Glenmorangie Classic Sherry, or he just tried it. Not fantastic. All right. Yeah, just to add on, I'm not sure. I was kind of reading the comments as you were saying that, so I didn't hear if everybody was mentioned, but yeah, like you said, Scotch Test Dummies, Scotch for Dummies, Aquavite, the Malted Man Cave, Eric. He's normally
Eric, wait, yeah, come on.
Eric, he normally reviews wine, but he's doing an excellent job with whiskey as well. No Nonsense Whiskey, Jason Whiskey Wise. I said Keith. I said Keith, but he always comments about how good looking he thinks I am. So I feel like I need to mention Malted Man Cave one more time.
Yeah. Malted Man Cave used to be just like you, though, and then he gained some weight. Now he's got the baby face. So.
Mark Whiskey Whistle just joined us, and he's an awesome channel as well. He knows a lot about whiskey, so check him out. Yeah, honestly, the community is incredible. The people are incredible. I haven't met a bad person in the whiskey world yet. I'm sure they're out there, but I haven't met them. I'm gonna take a sip of this bad boy right now. I don't know. So
I've been drinking it since you've been talking, my friend.
all right, cheers, brother.
I had an ounce in there. I got to refuel.
Man,
I want to thank Rob as well for having me on the show tonight. Really good friend. I've known him now going on 2.5 years, and he's been a really awesome guy. And you know, it's good to have other Canadians around like Trenny and C and Rob and others. You know, so again, thank you for having me on tonight, my friend. So cheers to you, Plancha.
cheers. Thanks for joining me tonight, Swami. Appreciate it. Go Habs, go, and Swami are talking for a bit. I'm just trying to read what Eric's saying, that he's awesome, but I'm not gonna repeat that part. Needs to learn how to add guests to his live shows. I guess there's some technical difficulties the other day when you were supposed to be on Eric's channel.
Well, I came on via telephone and we talked about marketing. Eric's so knowledgeable. I was telling people, this is before everyone knew who Eric Waite was. I started following Eric Waite about 2 years ago, and Eric started following me about 2 years ago. And we just had some fun, and it was just educational. I learned a lot about nosing from him, like a lot about how to nose properly. And you don't have to buy one of those crazy kits that they send in the mail that cost $200, even though they're cool and stuff like that, where you get like, you just deal with everyday items and figure out what you're nosing. And you just gotta, like, I don't know, I learned a lot from him. I used Eric a lot at the beginning as an educational tool. And that's partially what we're kind of supposed to be about. We do dive into entertainment, and even now, Eric, you're kind of getting guilty, my friend, and I love you, but you're becoming entertaining too, which is a good thing. So, and I like seeing you evolve, just like a fine wine. It's great. Yeah. So, talking about getting back to the Glendronach, on the mouth, again, bitter cocoa, tons of dried raisins, plums, golden raisins, brown sugar, it's just everything.
Yeah.
Espresso, a little bit of tea.
It does get a bit smoother and sweeter than my last experience with this, and it's fuller. It's a little fuller too. So I'm actually gonna say that there might be some truth to this pyramid. I want to see if I can call it up on my screen. I'm gonna try to. There's a way to screen share it. I'm probably gonna mess this up and then drop you, and then we'll have to read something.
No!
I'm useless when it comes to technology, as we all know. So why don't you entertain these guys for a little bit while I try to figure this out.
So I'm pouring another here. At the end of the night, before we take off, I don't know if Rob's going to join me, but I told him just for fun, because whatever, I'm going to chug this entire stout. It's a Mill Street stout. This is going to be at the end of the show. All right, if I see 5 donations tonight, I will chug this entire Mill Street stout for Rob. I want him to get some donations. He's a good man, and he's had me on. So I will chug this entire pint, okay? And I'll put it in a glass so you can see it's all real, and I'll chug the whole thing. I don't care if it's $1 that you guys give, whatever you want, super chat them, as long as there's 5. There's 1 right now, so 4 to go. And by the end of the night, there's been 5 of them. I'll chug that whole beer.
So we're at 41 viewers, which is pretty cool. If you guys are just tuning in and you don't recognize the face on the other end of this, first of all, thank you for joining. Second of all, head over to Swami's channel and subscribe. If you guys are not aware of what's going on with YouTube right now, they're planning on taking away monetization from anyone that doesn't have 1,000 subscribers by, what's the date, Swami? February 20th, right?
February 20th. I'm almost there. I've got less than 300 to go. If I don't make it, it's not the end of the world. I love the support that I've been getting. The channel has grown insanely in the past 2 months. I've had over 300 subscribers in the past 60 days come in, and not just come in, they're staying. So I love that you guys are giving me the feedback that are showing that you're enjoying what I'm bringing you. So that makes me really happy. I hope to hit 1,000. But if I don't, I'm still going to keep doing what I'm doing. But I appreciate Rob talking about it. And yeah, please come subscribe to my channel if you haven't.
Yeah, you definitely need to do that. Honestly, when I first started watching whiskey reviews, the main reason I did it was just to have difference of opinion so that I can actually understand a little bit more about whiskey, or understand a little bit more about what I'm buying. And not even even if I wasn't learning anything, it was more about having another opinion so that I could trust that purchasing that bottle for $200 wasn't going to kill me. So subscribe to all of us is what I'm trying to say.
Well, everybody, that's the one cool thing. Every single one of us, because we talk behind closed doors, behind the curtain all the time. We have such differing opinions and tastes on our products. All of us. We get along, we're all friends, but it's so different how we are, you know, in our palates. And everyone is. So you kind of have to watch multiple channels in order to really get an opinion. And then you got to figure out, who do I share my palate with the most, you know? And those are the guys that you're going to kind of trust more. And not like trust more, I'm saying you figure it out and know who. Swami must chug whiskey, not beer. Haha, no, I'm chugging the beer. I'll do a shot of whiskey later. I did a shot of tequila on Bill's show. That was horrible. But yeah, you just kind of figure out what's going on.
With the $5. This guy, honestly, Scott is, I always brag to all my friends about Scott because he's basically the one that has like caused this camaraderie that we all have, right? Like he started inviting all these people onto his channel. That's kind of what gave us the idea. If we're not all honest about it, he made a group chat on Twitter and then it expanded and expanded. It started off with like 3 of us, I think, 4 of us. Maybe.
Me, you, and Mark from Whiskey Whistle.
Yeah.
And I think Trenny and C.
Yeah, and then it literally like blew up, and there's a whole bunch of us in it now. It's incredible. Tom R joined us. I'm not sure if he joined us earlier. I was looking for that chart, but what's up, buddy? Whiskey Untitled. What's going on, brother?
Whiskey Untitled. Sorry, I love him. Is this Drinking Caveman though, or Wally? Whiskey Untitled. Which one are you? Because I love Drinking Caveman. Wally's cool too, but I love Drinking Caveman. Guy cracks me up. Good guy.
Whiskey Throttle is a super cool dude too.
Yeah.
He's thinking about, I don't know if he wants me to share this, but I'm going to anyway. He's thinking about starting a channel, and I've seen his collection. It's absolutely insane. So he really should consider it.
I've seen his collection of bikes. He's got 6 bikes.
Yeah.
Dude's got a lot of motorcycles. So.
I'm gonna try this screen share real quick, and then perhaps we can invite our special guest in if he's still willing to do so. I kind of a little bit of a spoiler there because I said it's a he.
Well, he doesn't identify as a he. But.
All right, so this is what I kind of wanted. I don't know how this works.
Yeah, no, it works. It works. Yeah, I see it. Just be careful when you take it down. You just kind of slide it to the side.
I just slide it to the side. Did I already take it down?
No, it's still up.
All right, this is going to be interesting. Right. Are you up now?
I don't see. I see myself here. Hold on. If I press
I clicked you because I'm trying to figure out me now.
There, I'm here. Hello. I can see me now. Clicked on my picture. Yeah.
Okay, real quick while we're looking at this, if you, I think the 18 is under the blue, right? Yeah.
1 second. Let me go. Yeah, the 18 is under the blue. So you've got 18, 18, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and 18.
Yeah, so up until 2019, it's going to go up in age according to this chart, which I've never fully confirmed whether or not it's real. But the 22-year-old is the year that I have. So the 2017 is supposedly 22 years old. If you go by when they mothballed and all the facts around that, it's possible that the one that I have is 22 years old. And the fact that it does taste thicker, smoother, a little bit more aged than the 2015, which was 20 years old, it's possible. Until I hear it from the distillery, I'm not going to believe it. So now I can figure out how to get rid of this. So I'll click it to you and work on that.
Yeah, I'll do the dance. Everyone sees me doing my intro. Everyone keeps on telling me to do the dance now because of my intro. It's cracking me up. The Parliament's becoming interesting next year. What's going to happen with the Parliament next year? So, by the way, what's everybody drinking? We forgot to ask the eternal question every time we have a live.
Absolutely. Yeah. So the Parliament will be 24. No, sorry, 23 next year. So basically, you're going to get the same age whiskey in the Parliament and the Allardice, according to the scale, up until 2019. And then after that, the Parliament will go up to 27 years old by 2022. So if that's true, that's a crazy investment. But we'll see.
Yeah, that crazy sarcastically pointed out that it gets older, Swami.
Jeremy's drinking a Glendronach 18 with us. I believe he has the same batch as I do as well. I'm not 100% sure if he opened that bottle, but so if our special guest is listening, I don't see him in the images. He may have shut off his camera, but he can introduce himself and his channel.
Unmute yourself.
I didn't know if he's ready for me to come in yet. I'm still moderating these kicking out people that are trying to give Swami the score of the game.
I haven't been reading the comments. So.
In my tight little boy's muscle t-shirt.
Well, normally I'd be staring at the comments all night, but Rob is so good looking that I'm just caught up staring at him all night, and I'm forgetting about the comments.
Well, Keith did ask earlier because he was talking about everybody not in the fabric, but just in the community that we've brought together and how many reviews everybody had done. And I commented and I said, well, everybody except for Keith, because he hasn't done that many yet. And then he came in, but he didn't see he was switching platforms. And he was like, what are you talking about, Scott? I said, nothing. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. We got to calculate that. How many reviews all of us have done combined total? That's got to be at least like 3,000 minimum, I would think. Like, it's got to be somewhere around there. But
well, we're at, we just did 423, I think, 423.
I know Rob's got 200 and something, right? Around there.
What's that? Sorry, I'm trying to follow with the chat. I kind of doing a terrible job as a host over here, guys.
No worries. Hey, Lloyd's in the house. How many reviews have you done?
I'm at this is, I think, 214 or 15, something like that. I
just put out 127 today, but that's just reviews. Also, let's just talk about live shows, total, everything like that. I think I'm at 150
nice
total, and I think Mark Whisky Whistle's over the 200 point too.
I include all of my videos in the number, so it's not technically review number 215. It's video number 215. Yeah.
Oh.
I'm trying to figure out how to do this so that it switches back to whoever's talking again. And like I said,
it is just hey, click on whatever screen you've got it on. There's a white outline around it. Just click on that box again, and it unlocks it. But it's just your end. It's been switching back.
Oh, okay, good. All right, good.
I think at least on my end, anyway, it was switching back and forth.
My end is not switching.
You're the moderator, or you're the host.
Now it's working.
Yeah, now it seems like it's back to normal.
There we go. Things are back to normal. Hey, Lloyd,
way, I've got I don't have the Glendronach 18, but I got the 12, the 15, the 21, and a sample of a cask strength.
Nice.
Batch 3.
I feel like you should drink the 21 there because it sounds like the most expensive one.
Well, I tell you what, like, this was my Christmas bottle. We just reviewed it. I think our review comes up either this Saturday or next Saturday. But generally, my Christmas bottles, if they're good, I tend to hoard them and I want to save them and just sip on them occasionally. But this thing is so good, I cannot resist it. I just keep going back to it, and it's about gone. I'm going to drain it. This will be the quickest Christmas bottle drain in my history.
Beautiful. I drained I bought 2 bottles of the Parliament 21. I drained both of them in 6 months, Scott. They're all gone.
Really quickly before I forget, and well, I'm not going to be able to forget because that's going to be there for a couple minutes at least, but Whiskey Throttle just donated. Thank you so much, dude.
Chindan Whiskey Throttle.
For those of you that don't know, that means 100 years. It's an Italian saying. It's something that, you know, you wish the person to live for 100 years, basically.
Yep.
Also, I saw Lloyd getting weird with the beard in What's up, buddy? I don't know if I mentioned him earlier, but you definitely want to go over to his channel and subscribe if you haven't already. He's super cool, dude.
Getting weird with the beard. He might make an appearance. By the way, this Saturday, Scott and I've got Whiskey Dick Bill coming on, and we're going to be drinking some bourbons. We're having a bourbon night in Malted, Montreal, and Lloyd might be joining. He's kind of like, you know, he's Lloyd. You never know. He's got to go with the wind, so we'll see. But he might be coming in, so that'll be fun.
You call it bourbon night. I just call it night.
Yeah. We're just going to drink a lot. Get the boys all toasted up. Mm-hmm. By the way, Crazy brought up a classic from my channel. I don't know if you guys saw it. It was a live show where I was talking about the Swedish Glencairn glass, which was just a Ziploc bag, and he brought it up in the comments to kind of make me laugh. One of my really drunk reviews. That was hilarious. So
that's crazy. And Martin are saying only real Italians or anyone that's watched The Godfather would know that. Also, if you watch The Sopranos, you probably know that as well.
Real Italian right here. Got my flag. And
so Eric
is
asking if my parents are from Molise. The answer is yes. I'm not a first-generation Canadian, though. I'm a second-generation Canadian. So technically, my grandparents on both sides are from Molise. My mom's parents and my dad's parents.
I'm first-generation Canadian. My mother is from Calabria, and my father's Russian. So I'm a half Italian. I'm not full-blooded like Rob. I can't ever become a made man.
Hey, about 30 minutes. Well, they ended 30 minutes before you guys went live, but Whiskey Untitled, which is half, it's Drinking Caveman and Scotch and Sniff or Sniff. They were live on Whiskey Untitled, but and I was watching them, but I had to pull out my Scotch and Sniff Glencairn to toast those guys as well.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers. Scotch, sorry, it's Scotch. Wally's Scotch, right? It's not Sniff.
Sniff. You always get it backwards.
Sniff. Cheers, Wally. And
Scotch and Sniff are in the chat right now, actually. So
both of them are there. I thought the other one left. I thought he left YouTube, never to return.
Well, it says Scotch and Sniff. That might just be Sniff.
That's just Sniff. Yeah, his brother was Scotch, and Scotch quit, leaving just the sniffer.
Yeah.
That's Wally. Wally's hilarious. I love Wally. And
Wally was taking all of Sniff's girls, or sorry, Scotch's girls, and they broke up because of it.
So Whiskey Throttle says, how do you break up an Italian wedding? I don't know the punchline to this joke, but I have my suspicions that it's probably not going to be the most appropriate.
Yeah, careful. The moderator's still watching.
He's got the tight T-shirt on, and he's not afraid to use it.
He'll bounce you out of the club. Man, honestly, I don't know if you're picking it up on the earlier edition of this, but this 18-year-old from 2017, potentially 22 years old, is a lot maltier than I expected, which is an amazing thing. Like, it's got a ton more cereal notes than I have ever tasted in a Glendronach, which is weird because that tends to happen with younger Scotch and not so much older Scotch. So I don't know.
Sorry, can you repeat that? I was reading the comments.
It's maltier than I've noticed in years past.
Yeah. I don't know. To me, I just find it to be such a beautifully intense, well-rounded Scotch. It just, I don't know. I'm definitely gonna buy another bottle the second this empties out.
Yeah, I stopped.
I've literally yet to have there's been Glendronach products that haven't been amazing, but I've yet to have a bad one. Like, I even like the 8-year-old was pretty good. I found it to be a little too much like a Ben React than an actual Glendronach, though. Because when I'm thinking Glendronach, I'm thinking sherry. The peated one was so-so. That's why I never reviewed it, because I just didn't find it was worth the review. I'm just going to be honest. If people want to do it, it's cool, but I just didn't figure I'd want to review it.
Yeah.
But everything else I've had from Glendronach has been incredible. They're really putting out a good lineup. They have very little failures. So.
Yeah, I thought I was going to give my first bad mark to a Glendronach the other day, and I sat down to do the review. I don't know if you guys watched that one, the 18-year-old Townie Port.
Yeah,
And
I saw that.
it drastically improved from the first time that I tried it to that point, and I had no choice but to give it a better mark.
I'm going to go backwards right now and have some of the 12-year-old, actually. I've had 2 glasses of that 18, kind of want 12.
That's what I'm having is the 12. The 15 was actually my first Glendronach, and it's exclusively Oloroso sherry, which I loved. I bought the 12 after that. It's Oloroso and Pedro Jimenez.
Yeah.
Now I had samples of the 18 next to samples of the 21, and the 18 is exclusive Oloroso, and the 21 is Oloroso and PX.
Pedro, yeah.
But I preferred amazingly the 21, because usually I'd like that exclusive Oloroso maturing, just like Macallan 12-year, Macallan 18, the Glendronach 15. But to me, that side by side, the 21 was a little bit better than the 18.
But there's very little whiskeys out there that are going to be fully matured in Pedro Jimenez sherry. It's not very much something that's out there. You'll find finishings of Pedro Jimenez, and you'll find mixes, and there's a couple that'll be fully matured in Pedro Jimenez, but it doesn't happen very often because Pedro Jimenez is just, it's so incredibly sweet that it's just going to destroy everything in the spirit. It'll dominate the spirit to death.
Yeah,
so that's why you don't see it very often.
You can only get away with that if you decide to do like what Glendronach has done with their single cask PX, right? They throw it in a PX punch-in, which is already a lot bigger than your average cask. That gets like anywhere from like 550 to 700 bottles, depending on how old it is. And then, so yeah, it's more distributed kind of thing. So it's not going to be as concentrated sweetness.
Less of the liquid's going to touch the surface area of the wood, so it's not going to be too sweet.
Peter White's in the house. What's up, brother? Tim is in the house. How's it going? Cheers.
Well, my Glendronach 15, if you can see, there's about 4 ounces left, maybe. This is one I've been weaning. Maybe it'll get killed here sometime.
I have the Glendronach 15 right here, actually, but a sample. That's all I have left right here.
Sniff is asking if this is an empty Balblair. That's a yes. This was my whiskey of the year for 2017. I have a backup bottle. Don't worry, Sniff.
Robbie, you have any more of that batch number 4 left?
I don't actually. I don't. That's long since been finished.
I got a little bit left. I got one little sample.
I'm gonna pour myself another drink. So have either of you been able to confirm whether or not that chart is real, or if that's something fabricated because of the mothballing of Glendronach?
Well, Travis is in here, and he commented earlier, don't put too much faith in that chart. I think it might be fairly close, but he's referenced something. Just check the bottling date. But then, Travis, do you have a better source for the accuracy of the aging?
Yeah, I mean, I find it hard to believe that a company would put older whiskey that they could sell for so much more money in a younger bottle. Like at one point, if that chart is correct, the 12-year-old was 18 years old. That's a crazy difference. It's possible that there's 22-year-old whiskey in here, but not necessarily the entire thing made up of 22-year-old whiskey. I don't know. I could be wrong.
Good point.
Loch Ness is asking if I have another sick day tomorrow. No, we can't go too late because I'm not calling in sick for tomorrow. So yeah, I have to go to work.
No problem. So we've had 4 donations, I think, so far. Is it 3 or 4?
5.
5?
Yeah.
If it's 5, I gotta give somebody a shout out.
All right, you gotta give me a shout out for getting me a 5 there. Come on.
Yeah, that's true too. Well, if you haven't already, make sure you go to Swami's channel and
oh, that's coming out hard. I'm gonna be chugging a stout, so this is gonna be nice and creamy, and I'm probably gonna be Rob's first ever, maybe. I don't know.
I don't know where you're going with this one, Swami, but it doesn't sound too healthy.
It's gonna be fun. Oh, my wife's gonna kill me. It's spilt everywhere. Hold on, I'll be back. You guys talk.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't think it's entirely 22 years old. One thing I will say though is that I prefer this bottle. Like number one, this 2017 expression of the Allardice is better in my opinion than the 2015. I don't know if it's because my palate has evolved since then, or just because I'm liking it a lot more now. I'm not sure if it's a lot better. The quality's changed. I don't know. What I will say is the single casks, as good as they are, they're awesome. Like they are beautiful whiskeys, but they might be a little too much sometimes. And what I mean by that is like they're so heavily sherried and they're also not blended at all. Whereas these, you take a bunch of casks, some a little weaker, some a little stronger, and you marry them to get a better whiskey, in my opinion. So
Agreed.
there's no master distiller that's, other than picking a cask to be a single cask, there's no master distiller that's actually working the whiskey to what it should taste and smell like, right? So I do feel that the 18 is better than most of the single casks that I've tried, and I've tried quite a few now.
All right.
Travis just commented a little bit ago. He says the last casking was in 1996. So all you have to do is subtract that from your, or by your bottle, go from your bottling date.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
no.
if you got bottled in 2014, which I think my 15 is, so 2014 to 1996 is 18 years. So actually, mine's 2015, so I got a 19 year.
Yeah, or 20 year. I think yours might be a 20 year. Because technically, it's, I don't know. I showed the chart earlier. Obviously, you weren't paying attention, Scott. Jeez.
No, I saw it. I've got the same chart.
Yeah, the 2015, I believe, lines up with a 20-year-old, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, no, that's all Travis was saying, was that maybe there's some parts of the chart that are off, but he said all you got to do is just subtract 96 from the bottling date.
Okay.
And not use it. Yeah.
So this might be 21 years old is what he's trying to say instead of 22 years old.
So was it 2016? Or wait, you got the 18.
I got the 18, 2017.
2017 for 96.
Everyone's changing
21 years.
Everyone in the chat changing the rules. It's starting. It started off, I said I'm going to chug a beer. Then it was chug a beer and a shot. Now it's chug a beer, a shot, and a bottle of rum. Soon it's going to be chug a beer, do a shot, take a wine. It's like, dude, I'm drinking a beer. That's it.
Swami, these people made donations. Okay,
Yeah.
You told them.
Yeah, it's not going to rob.
Make the donations, and you would drink all that stuff.
I'm drinking a beer. So. I'll do it right now. You guys talk.
Make it an Irish car bomb.
I'm not making an Irish car bomb. I got to work tomorrow too. I'm a great employee.
I've stopped you before.
There we go.
Yeah, that is amazing stuff. Ton of coffee for sure. I will be releasing a quick 5-minute review on this 18 next week. It's a re-review because I've reviewed it in the past, but I feel like I need to bump up the mark because that's just crazy good.
Holy shit.
So, yeah. So Travis is saying that the chart is off by a year. Mega John. So Mega John Conrad, I've never seen you in the chat before. Welcome, buddy. Nice to see you.
Finished. There you go.
Age of Glendronach, length times diameter. Eric, I shut off my teacher brain about 4 hours ago. I just actually handed out report cards. Tomorrow is going to be fun.
You guys should definitely go if you haven't tried this amazing stuff. Really easy to chug, by the way. Cobblestone Stout from Mill Street. Beautiful.
I just switched up from the 12 to the 15, and just the nose is just so much sweeter and richer, chocolatey and sherry.
The 12 is the one whiskey that I can honestly say that I honestly believe there might be some truth to the chart, the aging chart. And the reason for that is I recently bought a bottle, and I enjoy it. It's great whiskey, but I bought it when it was supposedly 18 years old. I think that was 2012 or 2013. I can't remember when it stopped being older and then went back to being 12 years old. And it was ridiculous. It was the best thing I've tried at $60, and I couldn't believe it. So do you know the age of that one, Scott? What's the age of your 12-year-old?
This one was bottled in 15.
Okay, so that's 12 years old then.
No, the 15. So it's 19.
Oh, sorry, the 15. Yeah. So,
yeah.
And I mean the 12-year-old. Can you check the back of that bottle to see what the date is on that one?
Yeah, let me see. It's been a while since I checked it. I don't remember.
I agree with Travis. He's saying that. Actually, no, I disagree with Travis.
What's Travis saying?
He's saying that the 15 is the best of the group according to his greater than less than signs. Unless
a lot of people think that the 15 is the best of the group, though. It's gotten such a cult following. I think it was more to do because of the fact that it was an older whiskey and everyone thought of it as the 18-year-old. So it just got this cult following that is kind of like a little overhyped. It's great. I got 2 samples of this from a friend of mine. I drank the other one. I know you had the full bottle, and Scott has the bottle there. I found it really good. I think it's a very good, well-made product, but it's not the best whiskey ever created. People gotta stop kind of kowtowing to the Glendronach 15. The 18 is a better product by far.
I agree. I honestly do agree. The 18 for me is a better product, but
I would say those. If they're saying that about the 15, it's because they haven't had the 18.
Maybe
it's Travis has tried quite a few Glendronachs, but it's a subjective thing, right? People have difference of opinion. There's a really good question. I just want to get to it. Everwind is asking, so Glendronach is so great now. Are there any worries that when the new stuff finally makes it to market, will be just as good? I'm a little bit concerned myself. It's a new master distiller. What do you guys think?
I mean, that'll be interesting to see.
Yeah.
I was reading the comments.
Until it comes out, we won't know.
I was reading the comments and I chugged the beer and had 3 scotches. So you're going to have to repeat that.
Basically, the question is, do you think the quality is going to maintain the same as it used to be? Or
with Brown Foreman in charge?
Now.
With Brown Foreman in charge, that's a really scary proposition because if a lot of people have watched my channel, I'm a huge booster of Glendronach and Ben Riach. I do a lot of Ben Riach reviews and a lot of Glendronach reviews, and so does Rob. And Scott's starting to get into the Glendronachs too. So we're all big fans of them, and it's scary with Brown Foreman because let's be honest, they don't really have the best reputation around when it comes to whiskeys. They're the Jack Daniels people in the Woodford Reserve. So they're really corporate. They tend to get quarters. So I'm really hoping that they don't fuck around, that they don't mess around with the quality, and they keep it the way it is.
I'm gonna have to moderate you out of here, Swami.
I promised Rob I wouldn't swear. I apologize. That was
all good. We're getting late and getting a little bit into the whiskey, so that it happens.
I apologize.
Whiskey
I think one thing,
up, buddy. I just want to say a quick shout out to the Whiskey Dick. If you guys haven't subscribed to him, you want to check him out. We have about 52 people, which is pretty good for a Tuesday night. I'm forgetting what day it is because I've had a little too much whiskey already. But yeah, if you haven't checked them out, we mentioned them earlier, but check them out. Also, these 2 gentlemen, you want to check out the Scotch Test Dummies if you haven't already, which I'm sure all 53, 4, 3 have you.
There's probably like 15 of them that know me and Bart. So
I doubt that. Like I said,
they all know Bart. They just kind of know Scott. I just mess with Scott. Scott's my favorite. He's Scott has been on my show, and this week will be, I think, 7 times that Scott will have done my channel, and my channel is not the largest channel. I'm not the smallest channel, but I'm not the largest channel. Scott is a man amongst men. He really just, if he likes you and he's your friend, he'll be there for you. So
go back. Both of you guys were on our channel early on. I know, Rob, you just brought up it was Super Bowl Sunday last year.
That's right. The anniversary, believe it or not, is actually today, the date wise. So that's there wasn't an accident that you were the secret guest today, Scott.
By the way, I'm going to be switching over to a Macallan 17. This was a gift from Cam. You know Cam, Rob, you've had him on your show. Yep. So he left me the 17-year-old. I would have preferred something else, but no one wants to trade this with me, so I'm going to drink it anyway.
You're not supposed to see those things online when people give you free whiskey, Swami.
Hey, I gave it a review. People saw it, so I can now say
it's good stuff. It's not my favorite. I'm going to be honest. It's not my favorite of the Macallans, but everybody knows them.
It's in my favorite price range, free. So I like that.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Any other major questions you notice on there?
Well, I was going to tell you with the what I was going to say earlier with the new Glendronachs that'll be coming out. I think it's going to hinge on the sherry casks that they can get, because I think the sherry industry is already being taxed just by the increase of distilleries wanting sherry casks and pumping out sherried scotches, even sherried bourbon. You know, bourbon is getting into the sherry push now.
Oh yeah. Rye too. Lots of ryes now are all becoming sherried.
Yeah. What these companies need to start doing is heading over to Sicily and buying the Marsala casks and go to Portugal and buy the port casks. Obviously, those are already being
not just the Porto. It would be great to see some stuff like matured in Porto, like straight up Porto, like the dark, thick liqueur almost wine. That would be awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, sherry is great. It makes for great whiskeys, but there's a lot of fortified wines out there that are not being utilized. And unfortunately, I think the route that's going to end up being taken is they're going to go the Macallan route, where they use seasoned casks. So they throw in that like sherry concentrate basically out of a can, like McCain's or whatever it's called. And they put it in a barrel for a few months and they let it spin around and then they dump it.
You have to let Scott know what McCain's is, though, because I don't think McCain's exists in the States. That's totally a Canadian thing.
I don't know that one.
All right, so McCain's is basically concentrated frozen juice.
Yeah.
And you take out the little tin, you throw it in a jug, add water, and it's juice in like basically the time that it takes for it to defrost. That's essentially what they're doing with sherry casks in the Macallan distillery now. So
OJ for Hire's in the house. What's up, OJ?
What's up, OJ? Your hat's in the mail, by the way, buddy.
But no, go back just a little bit. Rob and Swami, you know, we had you both on early on when we started live streaming, and Swami was talking about our community, and then the community is, you know, these watchers as well. You know, we've talked about OJ for Hire, Santa Cruz, and just going back through.
Peter White,
yeah, people that have been tuning in for a long time, and they keep
Eric
watching
Gilbert.
for some reason. I don't know why.
We're like a car accident. That's why.
Like I refer to my earlier reviews that like whenever you're driving past a car wreck or a train wreck, you don't want to look, but it's impossible to turn your eyes. You have to see what's going on. So
now we've had a couple people check out. Lloyd the Beard had to take off, and Drew Scotch for Dummies is taking off.
Night, Drew. Good night, Lloyd. Thanks for coming by, guys. George is in the house. I didn't see him earlier, waiting for the train wreck.
Yeah.
Keith Peterson.
What's up, George?
Keith Peterson, we still don't know where your quilt is. It's completely lost.
Keith, I don't think I've seen him in too many of the lives, actually. That's nice to see you, buddy.
No, that wasn't Keith that sent that around. And I think the Scotch for Dummies still have it.
But it was Keith.
No, Keith Peterson is one of the group subscribers.
Yo, yeah.
He's the one that actually made the quilt to send around for all of mine. Yeah, it was Keith.
I think that was somebody else. I think that was.
Pretty sure.
He hasn't been. He sent us a message, and he had some family stuff that came up, and that's
Paul. Paul.
No,
pretty sure
he's out in California. Gosh darn it! Now I can't think of his name. Sorry.
No, I did not make the quilt. Okay, Keith Peterson did not make the quilt. I apologize.
Sean McDonald, what's up, buddy? I think he's just joining us as well. There's a few people that are just joining us. We have a little bit of the ebbs and flows of lives. So you'll get a lot of people that leave and then a lot of people that rejoin. And we hit 55. That's probably because Scott's here.
Nobody knows I'm here.
That's what you think.
They came to see me. Now I'm teary-eyed. Knitting shit.
That's my new separate channel I'm going to bring up so I can talk about it in every review.
Yeah. Swami the quilter.
By the way, that review you did the other day, Scott, you got to check. I mean, with these quick hitters, you're getting a chance to feel what it's like to be by yourself in these reviews. But
yeah,
that felt the most review-like and authentic, and like you tried to keep the sarcasm to a minimum. It was legit, buddy.
If anybody's watching that, watch that as well. We got new wireless mics. I learned about the adjustments, which I didn't know about. So I had that mic cranked up to 10, basically. So future reviews will be toned down. Hopefully we don't get all of the hoarse swishing and everything on audio.
Yeah.
Throttle's having a field day. He thinks I'm going to throw up on camp. Throttle, I'm an ex-bartender, man. 1 beer and 4 whiskeys are going to do nothing. Plus, dude, we do reviews, 4 days a week now? All I do is drink. It's never going to happen. It's take a lot more.
Honestly, I've had to put in my calendar days where I call them dry days, and my wife's like, I'll look at the liquor cabinet and my wife will be like, it's a dry day, right? Because it's getting to the point where I literally need to schedule days where I don't drink at least twice a week because it's too much now. With sampling and I know it's a first world problem, but
dude, our livers probably just look like toothpaste by now. It's just gone.
I hope not. I mean, I do a lot of working out to hopefully offset that, but it might actually make it worse. Who knows?
Drink at least. One guy we didn't mention tonight talking about drinking a ton. We gotta mention him. Foodquig, man. Another wonderful, beautiful member of this community.
Foodquig. How do we forget Foodquig?
Yeah, come on.
Andy is the man. Honestly, I recently learned that he drives cab, and it just all hit home to me. I'm like, man, I will never ever take a cab without totally respecting that guy again. Not that I haven't in the past, but just. I look at Foodquig and I'm like, man, he's such a cool guy.
Foodquig's my Ralphie.
All right, so we got about 5 more minutes. Why don't you guys both plug your channel, starting with Swami. We want to get Swami to 1,000 subscribers before February 20th. So if you guys haven't subscribed by now, please do so. Swami's going to talk really quickly about himself. Tell us what's going to happen on Malted in Montreal in the next couple of days.
Okay. So for the next couple of days, I'm going to be kind of veering my channel towards some rum reviews because a lot of people know me also for rums. I don't just do whiskeys all the time. And I went out and purchased the entire plantation rum lineup. So I will be doing just an insane amount of rums and good stuff, all overproof shit. So we've got the Trinidad, we've got a bunch of other things. I've got some cognacs also coming. These are all unchill filtered, no color added cognacs that will be coming up on my channel this month. And I'll be also spending a couple nights sleeping on Scott's couch because my wife hates me for doing this channel. And you can find me at your local mall begging for change. So that's me. Come subscribe to Swami Suave. I really need the money.
His name is actually not Swami Suave. It's Malted in Montreal, just for clarification.
Yeah. My channel's called Malted in Montreal.
When you're searching for him on YouTube, make sure you type in Malted in Montreal, not Swami Suave.
Thank you. The beer might have affected me a little more than I thought.
I do have to say, your nickname is Swami.
Yeah.
We know your real name, but I still call you Swami. And you've told me.
Yeah.
Call me by my real name. And I'm like, I like Swami.
Yeah, everyone calls me Swami. It's my ex-DJ name. I was a douchebag DJ in college, so they don't call me Swami. All right, go ahead.
All right, well, I'm Scott with the Scotch Test Dummies. We're on YouTube, me and Bart. When you get me, there's no board games, so it's just whiskey usually. sometimes a little humor, depends on how much I've had to drink. Instagram, we're Real Scotch Test Dummies, and on Twitter, Scotch Test Dummy. So thanks to everybody that tuned in. Thanks, Rob, for having me. Thanks, Swami, for putting up with me again.
You are so beautiful, and I love you in that baby tee. One day we're gonna spoon.
I'll put on a tighter shirt just for you.
All right,
Swami.
but I want to be Little Spoon.
All right, guys. I just want to thank you both for jumping in on the channel tonight. Glendronach 18 is incredible, so I'm glad I got to share some Glendronach with you guys tonight. To the 52 viewers still watching, thank you for putting up with us. You guys are all awesome. If you haven't already, subscribe to these two gentlemen. They're awesome dudes, as well as the list that we've mentioned a few times. I'm not going to go through it again because we're getting close to time. These gentlemen are going to stay on the line. I want to thank you guys from the bottom of my heart for the donations, as well as just coming in to chat with us. We love having you guys here. You guys are all awesome. Okay. Cheers, gentlemen.
Cheers.
Sláinte.